Hey, everybody, it's Jonah Lupton back again, your host of the Startup Sense podcast. Got another awesome show for you today. I am interviewing the founder of Hooch. So on the phone, I have Aleksey Kernes. How are you, Aleksey?
Hey, how's it going, guys? Happy
Doing
holidays.
great.
Happy
Thanks,
Monday.
man. Hope you had a great Thanksgiving. Before we talk about Hooch, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Yeah, absolutely. My name is Aleksey. I'm originally from Ukraine and lived in New York City for the last 16 years. Love it over here. It's my home. Been in hospitality business for a better part of those 16 years, and um, it's to me it's the best industry in the world. The environment of people and um, it's a very exciting world to be in. The last few years I've been at a local spot in New York City called Hotel Chantel. It's a restaurant club. Daytime I was doing director of marketing work and just looking for new and exciting ways to tell new customers about our spot. And at night, running the door, acting as a club doorman, making sure the right people have easy passage to our venue.
Right.
And I was always a tech-friendly kind of guy. Read pretty much every book out there on tech, and I recommend everyone else does the same. A lot of this stuff applies for just general insight. I think at some point everyone should read all these things as common knowledge. Always played with new apps as soon as they came out. Part of it was for professional purposes, looking for new ways and opportunities to, again, attract new customers and a very deeply personal interest in the area. At some point saw a gap, an opportunity that later became what now is Hooch.
Awesome. So obviously you have a ton of experience in hospitality. You've worked at bars, clubs,
Right.
VIP kind of stuff. So you understand what the market's looking for. So now tell us
Right.
about Hooch. What exactly is Hooch?
Absolutely. Love to. Hooch is the first ever cocktail society. Our members are the best people in the world. They pay a monthly membership fee of $9.99 a month, and every member can get one free drink once a day, complimentary at any place on the app. We are currently live in 10 cities. We just launched San Francisco officially last week. Hong Kong is our first international market. There are well over 500 places on the app. New York being the home base, there's about 100 venues so you can go to, and you can go to any place every day and have a free drink. We launched last year, and it's been a great ride so far.
That's awesome. I mean, it almost sounds too good to be true, but obviously what you're doing is you're bringing hundreds of people into these bars and restaurants. So you're essentially acquiring their customers for them, right?
Yeah, that's a big part of it. Earlier we talked about consumer spending, and every venue wants to have more customers. So every venue is always looking for ways to find new customers and tell them about their awesome menus and the new cocktail they're created and the food. There's a number of different tools out there. Not a single one of them acts the way I do, where my members get to benefit with having a free drink to explore, discover new places, and the venue gets the new great customer, for cost of the product. Venues love that. It increases consumer spending. People enjoy it. It removes barriers of entry to new venues and definitely encourages them to stay longer. We find that a lot of our customers spend around $40 on their visit to cocktail places, more if it's restaurants, and it's been a great partnership so far.
And it certainly works with alcohol because alcohol, I mean, the profit margins are pretty good, right, for the bars and restaurants. So once they get someone in there spending a lot of money, it's a lot of profit.
Oh yeah, a lot of people don't know this. Just a fun fact: most drinks out there, the cost of the product, they cost about $1 to make, depending on what the spirit is. there's definitely expensive spirits that we all know, and like the brand, like the Mount Gays and the Grigris in the world, that just are a little more premium and they cost more. But that product cost maybe a little different, but on average it's about $1.
Right, and depending on the venue, I mean, certainly in New York City, you're probably spending 10 to 12, if not more, dollars on that drink. So.
Oh yeah, we have places that have $18 drinks on the app, and customers definitely approve it. We have Monarch Rooftop. Their cocktails are $16. They have a beautiful view of the Empire State at Hotel Chantel, where I still run the door. Our cocktails are $14. We're in Lower East Side. In Brooklyn, we have places, and it depends on the area, but most cocktails range about $11. We have a place, the Regal, that they use premium spirits, and their cocktails are $11. So definitely well over $10 for a cocktail. Beer and wine might be closer to the $10 mark.
Right. So in some, if members are paying $10 a month, in some cities that's one drink, and their membership's already paid for.
Yep, it's that easy. We really need to, think of Hooch as your gym membership, your Netflix, something that just adds great value. Whether you use it 30 times or used it one time, we just always want to have that value feeling to it.
Now, you guys are in about 10 cities right now?
Yeah, perfect 10.
And what was the first city that you started in?
New York is the home base.
Okay, so how did you get your first 10 venues or 20 venues to sign up for Hooch in New York?
Because I've been in the industry for quite a while, it's one of those groups of people that, even though a lot of us compete in a sense for customers and we want people to come to our restaurant to eat and drink, and they were all pretty friendly. So I'd say probably the first 30 venues were just friends, people that I grew up with in the industry that now own bars and manage bars and these, famous establishments. It was just as simple as, reaching out to them, having a cup of coffee and connecting with them, giving them this new tool.
Now, do you charge the venues any monthly fee to be part of this?
No, I don't. And at this time, we're not planning to do that either. I think part of who I am, because I want to, the feeling when I created this, I want to give back to the community. I want to, make sure that it's not just about me and my customers. And the venues are a big aspect of it. I want to make sure that everyone in the community, in the industry, is happy with it. So we're not charging them.
Okay, I think that's totally fair. Makes sense. So you guys only make money off of the members. So it's kind of your job to help acquire those members. So how does Hooch do that? What's your customer acquisition strategy right now? And, what have you guys tried, and, what's been the most successful?
We do a lot of awesome fun events. I personally enjoy doing it, and just those experiences, creating interesting experiences. The other last week we had tickets to a game at the Barclays Center, and there's a new bar lounge there. So we actually gave out close to 60 tickets to a hockey game, negotiated a deal with Barclays. They were happy because we brought in more customers, and the customers redeemed the drink at the lounge. I'm heading out to Art Basel early tomorrow. We're sponsoring a lot of fairs and art galleries there. Those things are just personal favorite, and we get to have a lot of fun with those. On the other side, we are a tech company, and online acquisition is a big part of it. My co-founder Jared is an expert. He used to run a major brand and work with brands like Casper and Warby Parker and these other great brands. So he's just a guru when it comes to making sure the right customers see us online, and social media is the next big one. I've seen brands, will become glorious because of their content, and we're definitely working on making sure that our content is good, and it's kind of easy for us because we get to talk about cool cocktails, new trends, and I'm sure you see this all the time. Every publication talks about the best 5 drinks. So for us, our content is definitely key, and people respond well to it.
What any partnerships that you guys have put together that have worked out well? I don't know if it's with a liquor brand or one of these online like drink websites for bartenders, anything like that. I mean, I'm just thinking, like, I see people share stuff on Facebook all the time,
Mm-hmm.
and like some special cocktail, and it looks cool and it gets 10 million views, and any of that stuff work for you?
Yeah, we definitely do do these challenges all the time where we encourage bartenders to create new cocktails, and we have a great bartender program. Again, part of it is giving back to the community that's in front of the customers a whole lot, and creating a good relationship with them so we can be a tool that they can recommend on their own.
This is Jonah Lupton, founder of the Lupton Group and host of the Startup Sense podcast. Are you struggling to find the right tech team to build your company's website or mobile app? Maybe you've developed a product but need help with your go-to-market strategy, including branding and marketing. Well, stop worrying, because my team at the Lupton Group can assist you with all of those needs. We specialize in helping entrepreneurs and startups of all sizes launch and grow their businesses. For a free consultation, you can email me at jonahlupton@gmail.com or visit our website at luptongroup.co. Now, can you give us an idea of how many members you have in New York, for instance, like ballpark?
Yeah, we have nationwide. We have about 70,000 members.
Awesome.
And a good portion of that is in New York.
Right. What was the second city that you guys launched in after New York?
LA. LA was the second one.
So when you go to launch in a new city, what's kind of the process? I mean, do you have to fly out there and spend some time, going around to different venues, talking to them, or do you have like a community manager for each city? How are you guys set up to take on, expansion?
So good question. It's always a big one. Part of what we do definitely requires a certain skill of communicating to the industry, and it comes naturally to me because I've been a part of it and understand that to be accepted in it, they kind of have to see you as one of their own. So every time we launch a new city, we look for people who are currently working in the industry but looking to expand their careers and into something that lasts a little longer and can give them a bigger platform to be creative, and we give them Hooch. So we definitely have local brand ambassadors, local GMs in most major cities that are our eyes and ears in that city, and we rely on them. And so far, that model has been working out well.
Awesome. Are you guys in Boston?
No, not yet.
If you want to get to Boston, let me know. I know a lot of the venue owners and club promoters and everybody else. So
there you go. Maybe it's something for you. Right?
Absolutely. We got something to talk about after the show for sure. No, I mean, Boston's got so much nightlife now, so many bars and restaurants, and there's a lot of, because there's so many new ones in the last few years, there's also a ton of competition. So I can see where something like this works perfectly, because it's getting new people into their space to check it out, people that wouldn't maybe go there otherwise. And then once they get there, they're like, holy crap, this is a nice place. We got to come back here again more often.
Absolutely. There was a London Cocktail Week just passed, and they announced the 50 best bars in the world, and there was a few of those names were located in Boston.
Right.
These are places from the world. You guys are definitely moving up in the cocktail scene in general drinking culture.
Yeah, I would agree. I mean, I think 10 years ago, Boston was a little stale, but in the last 3 or 4 years, which is surprisingly, when I moved out of Boston and moved down to North Carolina, it seemed like, there was this new influx of like hip, trendy, new clubs and martini lounges and, stuff like that. So yeah, I'm happy to connect you anytime.
And that's where we fit in as a brand, the term hooch comes from the 1920s Prohibition era, where there was a big, challenge in the drinking community. And I think we're in the same age, but the challenge is, how do you get your brand out there? How do you tell the story of your cocktail? And there's, big publications that cover, the best bars and bartenders in the world who come up with these interesting drinks. And, some people know the story of the guy who created the Long Island iced tea and they drink it. But the truth is there's thousands of people who are always coming up with new and fascinating drinks that people don't ever get to enjoy. Hopefully we'll change that. We're that new catalyst for the drinking culture movement.
Now, just like Netflix seems too cheap to me, like, because it just provides so much value, this $10 a month almost sounds too cheap to me.
We've had that. We still do. It's just one of those things that we have to kind of fight. My partners and I, we talk about it all the time. Customer service always sends those remarks to us that people cannot believe that what's what it is. When I'm in front of people, I'm asking, what would you pay if you had a free drink every day? And the price is usually around $50 to $60. And then I tell them 10 and they pull out the card right away.
Right. I mean, you've taken away like the friction, there's no price friction whatsoever.
Yeah.
Now, you guys, I'm looking at your Crunchbase profile, and you guys have raised, a nice chunk of money, $2.75 million. There's a lot you can do with that. But then when I look at some of the investors, I mean, you're talking big names like Russell Simmons, Shaun White, Chris Burch. How did all that happen? I mean, those are big angel investors.
Blavatnik, he's a big one.
Yeah, I'm actually not familiar with him. Who is he?
Look up Excess Industries. He pretty much he doesn't own companies, he owns industries. You look him up, you'll see he owns half of Hollywood and half of oil industry. He's 26th richest person in the world. Somewhere up there.
These are big players. I mean, these are billionaires. Like, how did you come across these billionaires and get them to invest in your company?
My person and I have a great network and advisors and do quite well for us. We've gotten connected to them over the last year, and had early conversations with them. It really comes down to what the product is. They see where it's going and where we are right now, and unlike a lot of other brands who are looking to get 1 million followers and then figure out how to do ads, they see exactly how we make money and what we need the money for, and how it's going to go and how slim we are, and they enjoy that, and they're happily invested. The list, actually, the last round that we closed was all key investors. The first one was friends, and I think everyone's happily going to join us in Series A in January 8th.
Okay, so you guys are fundraising again?
We're going to do Series A in January.
Okay, cool. Are you guys targeting the more traditional VC funds at that point?
Yes.
Okay. What's kind of like and maybe you don't know this yet because maybe there's not enough time has passed, but do you guys know kind of the lifetime value of a customer? I mean, at $10, it sounds like once people sign up, they never cancel, right?
Right. At this point, we have a pretty good idea of the lifetime value of customers, and the challenge that we have is not the price and the value. It's just simple stuff that we're learning to take advantage of, and people's cars expiring, and just notifying them, staying on top of that. People moving out to new cities, there's trends. Summertime, a lot of people come to the city to work and move out by September. So we're seeing those trends, those movements, influx of people and people leaving town. So learning about that. But overall, I think we have a idea of.
Right. I mean, some typical churn stuff, I guess. But, as you guys grow, as you take on more cities, it'll be nice for those people that travel and they spend a couple months in New York, a couple months in LA or Miami, they'll be able to use your service in all of those cities.
Yeah.
Now, what is the social aspect? I mean, I would assume, if you have, say you're in San Francisco and you have 25 places and you have a couple hundred members, and those members are using, this perk or whatever you want to call it, they must run into each other, right? So they're like constantly seeing a lot of the same faces, developing friendships and relationships.
Yeah, and it's definitely happening, and it's the same way as me noticing it in New York City, but there's a larger selection. And we're looking for in-depth ways of encouraging those social behaviors. Generally, we definitely encourage groups, and we've something, marketing me earlier. We found that one of our referral programs is just definitely working well with social aspect. We allow customers to send someone an invite code. If you accept the app right now, you get it for $1. I get a free month. So that sort of thing has been snowballing this for us.
Sweet. Yeah, I would say that's definitely that's a winning strategy, because this app is, lends itself perfectly to people being social and talking about it and stuff like that. So what's been your single best piece of advice that you've gotten so far from one of your investors?
Single best piece of advice. Oh man, we have so many good investors and advisors.
I don't want to get you in trouble with any of them.
Let's circle back to this one. I'm gonna have to.
Are you which?
I don't want to let down your listeners. There's so much good stuff.
We can go back to it. We can skip it, like Family Feud. Skip a question and then go back to it. What does your typical day look like? I mean, I know you're a busy guy. We've tried to connect a couple times, and it seems like you're traveling a lot. So, I mean, do you have a typical day, or is it really just it's all over the place?
I try and definitely create a schedule for myself, and I try and break it up to being around the team and getting new app ideas flushed out and maintaining relationships with all the employees that we have on brand. We've gotten good as a team where every time we scale, we don't the team stays pretty consistent, and it's important for me to make sure that the morale is there and everyone's happy. And the more I invest into my team, the more I see the results. I think maybe that's the advice that I've gotten, and I've seen Gary Vaynerchuk talk about this sort of thing a lot. We're just spending a lot of time with my team, making sure that they have all the best tools to do the job that they need, and just do that. So my time, I guess, is divided between creating those tools and giving them to them, and sometimes definitely enjoy being in the field, getting new venues, and checking out Art Basel while signing up a few 100,000 people there. Typical day. I like it when it's never typical. Just got to be always ready for a challenge.
How long is the sales process for most venues? I mean, from the time that you reach out to them to the time that you can get them on the platform and start sending them customers?
Depends on the relationship that you have with the venue and the introduction. If you don't have an existing one, the way I told you, in the beginning, the first 30, 50 that I signed up were a lot of good friends. So it depends on the introduction. If it's just a venue that we're emailing, definitely takes the lead time is a lot longer.
Yeah.
I imagine you get spam to be on your show, and there's a lot of interested people who want to join. Every time you do something exciting, you see everyone reaching out to you. As a director of marketing at the place that when I used to hold that position, the amount of apps that reach out to me daily, and new people that want to work with you, countless, right? So just shuffling through those helps if it came with the right introduction. So that's one of the tools I'm building for my team. I'm trying to create a scalable way for them to get better introductions and decrease the lead time to setting up the venue.
Now, is your whole team based in New York, or do you have some remote people?
Every city has local people.
Okay. I mean, that
Some
makes
cities
sense.
have GMs where once we identify that the city is a winning city and we want to invest more resources, we kind of bulk up on it and get marketing directors, and we get very local with it.
Do you guys think you'll ever get into like the table list business, which is making like VIP table reservations through an app, or are those really two separate models?
Oh, I guess because you were from Boston, they're from Boston, you know them. Yeah, those guys are really good friends, and we're not looking to get into that space. As a venue selection, I like to focus on restaurants because they offer more to my customer than just a drinking night, and I'm not looking to just be busy on Friday and Saturday. I want to build in consistency, and restaurants provide that consistency because they're open longer hours and more days. So my target list is different. I think my customer are a little different. I engage in the age of my customer. Definitely is sometimes older than table list. I work with their clients and they're great, but again, because of the level of product I'm providing, I'm looking for a different exit and a different plan. So I don't think we're gonna
not going to be bumping into each other too much. Then it does sound like you guys are more restaurants. They're more like nightclubs. Different audience, different market. So in terms of, so you have some people in New York, some people around the country. How do you with people all over the place, kind of how do you build the right culture? Make sure that you're hiring the right people, firing people when they don't work out, like how much time and effort you put into culture and HR and, the headache of hiring.
Yeah, definitely a big one. And I think it's a big one for a lot of companies that I'm talking to. And we're just consistently evolving, looking for our own unique ways and making sure that, people are properly motivated and stay with us. One of the advice I can probably give to your listeners, maybe go out and read every book possible. One of those books is, Zappa's The Way to Happiness, and they talk about, allowing customers to, or people that are looking to work with them, to have an exit within 2 weeks and no hard feelings with the payment. We're doing our own version of that. Come join us, test it out, see if the shoe fits, see if you like the environment. It doesn't work for you, it doesn't work for us, no hard feelings. Here's a little stipend, and we're always looking for ways to get people who are intrinsically motivated to work with us. So that's definitely a good start, and then just consistently keep them motivated.
I wish everything was like that. Like, I just bought a new laptop today. I wish I could test it out for 2 weeks, to decide if I really want to buy it.
Where's your return policy? Isn't that what the return policy is in there for? I'm ordering a new sofa. It's the same thing. That's the relationship. That's why Tinder is so popular, right? Like, you want to see the person, you want to play with the person, see how they interact, and then get serious afterwards.
Right.
No one gets married on the first date. Oh, most people.
And sometimes it takes 10 or 15 dates to figure out if you're, a good match for each other and ready to take the next step. So no, I think I think that's a cool way to, kind of, streamline the hiring process. Not necessarily streamline it, but it is hiring the right people is hard. And sometimes you make mistakes, and, if you make a mistake, it's better just to kind of part ways as friends and, go find someone a little better. If you could be mentored by anybody, who would it be? Do you have a person?
Mentored by anyone. There's a lot of people I definitely look up to that I want to have as my mentors, and I read all of Ryan Holiday books and love to get closer with that guy and Gary Vaynerchuk, and Seth. And not Seth, Seth Godin. I cannot believe I said that.
Hey, Gary V's in New York. I mean, maybe he should be an
he
investor
is.
around.
He's a busy man. One of those loaded questions. It's just if you know where to look, you'll always find people to look up to, and I think as a company we try and stay humble and every time we make leaps forward. Who do I want to hang out with? Jeez.
Hey, Gary V's a good answer. He's a popular answer too. I get a lot of Gary V, a lot of Elon Musk.
He's a known figure, right? He's done that quite well for himself. Creating a personal brand as a speaker and educator and insider of all sorts of knowledge. I think I get along better with Ryan Holiday. He's a creative guy. We might get too creative and stray away from the goal, but I think he's definitely a cool dude to hang out with.
So let's go back to the earlier question that we jumped over. What is the single best piece of advice you've gotten from one of your investors?
That one again.
Have your investors or here's another way to look at it. What kind of value have your investors brought to you, or the company or the team, through introductions or where have they provided the most value to Hooch?
They've been fantastic. One of our investors is, we have so many ones. Which one do I want to point out? Who needs a shout out? Give me a minute.
Yeah,
they're all good people. I don't know, man.
Okay, no worries. Move on.
Yeah.
What's your favorite piece of software or app that you use on a daily basis to help run the company?
Definitely use a fair share of Slack. I see that around in my office. That's probably the main one we all get along with.
Yeah, Slack's definitely the most popular answer by far. A lot of people using Slack. Wow. A lot of teams addicted to Slack.
Yeah, definitely helps conversation. Considering we have so many people in different cities.
Right, for sure. Lets them, stay up with what's going on at the company. How often do you guys do company-wide meetings? Do you have them a weekly or monthly basis?
Depends on the level where you are in the company. We try and definitely weekly for all senior staff, so all the GMs and partners. Those are weekly. For all staff, unless there's a new update that everyone needs to know about, and we can't just cover it in email that we do. We'll try to do every 2 weeks or so. We'll do an all staff call and get everyone on board and talk to them again. A lot of one-on-one calls as well, between myself and my co-founder Linda. He definitely takes a nice lead on talking to GMs pretty much every day.
So what's the ceiling for the company? I mean, is there a ceiling, or can you guys just keep on growing and growing, adding more cities, go international? Could you be in 50 or 100 cities within the next couple of years?
Absolutely. Why not? We're developing technology that it really works. We're trying to make it as seamless as possible. The amount of venues adds value to our customers, and we can definitely find more cities that, even in the near future, we're looking to launch a few more cities. Do we want to keep growing? We'll see. I think everyone on the team enjoys where they are, and would like to see the brand to become this, the next unicorn.
It's kind. I mean, it's. I mean, in a way, you guys do kind of have. I mean, you have that monthly recurring model, which investors love. Because it's very predictable revenue. You have X number of people paying $10 a month, and if you're growing at 20% month over month or 30% month over month, you can kind of extrapolate out 2-3 years how many members you might have. Times 10. And you can get into some pretty big numbers at that point.
Yeah. And that's pretty much been the trend. That's why we're able to grow. And when we started launching the next city, we LA, we've pretty much been doing one city a month. And then now that we got Hong Kong out of the way and into the app, and it's the fastest moving market for us. I went to Hong Kong in September, and they love everything Western. It's all McDonald's and Armani Exchange and Gap. They absolutely love it. If I can find more cities like that where they just love the culture, the Western world, and bring in this new exciting tool, I would definitely do that. Not every city is that hot. Cities like Boston, right? There's definitely a clear market there.
Right, because you
definitely
got
looking to expand. Yeah,
lot of venues. I mean, I think in Boston you have 250,000 college kids. All within like 5 or 10 minutes of downtown. So you got a ton of people always looking for new spots. And this is a nice way for them to get acquired. And I mean, it's bars, restaurants, and clubs. I mean, it's like Boston's got all of it, just like
great
New
market.
York. And then kind of a last question is, for someone, actually 2 questions. One, what positions are you guys hiring for right now? If any of the listeners are listening and they want to work for Hooch, what are you hiring for? And in what cities are you looking for, kind of GMs or community managers?
We just launched San Francisco, and I am definitely looking for more people in that city to lead the city, to get new venues, customer acquisition. I think in general it's a very important city for every tech startup.
Yeah.
Because of its positioning and the proximity to all the VCs are looking at it starting Series A. And it's one of those cities that you really absolutely have to just knock out of the park. So the focus for everyone on the team is San Francisco. My co-founder is flying on Friday and staying there a few days. I'm going to go in a week, and we're just going to continue rotating, going through our relationships and advisors and contacts to get as many introductions and find those people and test the relationship and see who wants to stay and become a millionaire.
Cool. So yeah, I got some connections in San Fran and certainly Boston and a few other cities. I might be able to help out a little bit. And then kind of last question, if someone's looking to start a company in the next year, what advice would you give to them that you've kind of learned along your journey?
Well, definitely nothing is easy, right? It's taken us a year, and I think we have a lot to show for it. We're also very aggressive, but nothing happens overnight. So just patience, keep applying steady pressure. It's definitely a combination and personal mantras that I have. Keep hustling,
Yep, absolutely, man. Every day is a battle. Every day is another chance to hustle and win some customers and do some customer service and all that good stuff. So, no, man, you guys are up to some cool stuff. I had no idea what Hooch was or what you guys were doing before I looked you up on Crunchbase, and then I'm like thinking, damn, this is a cool concept. I wish I had this when I lived in Boston. So, you guys are onto something big, and I don't know
Thank
many,
you. I'm glad you see it.
And totally scalable business model. So, wish you the most success, and feel free to come back on the show anytime you want and give us some updates, and hopefully our paths will cross soon.
Awesome. Thank you for your time, man.
I'm glad
you see the vision.
I definitely do. Thanks for your time, and best wishes on the Series A. You guys will get it.
Awesome. Have a nice day, babe.
Take care, man. Have a good day.